Hey, good morning. Hope you're doing well. All right. Today, I just left the house. It's Saturday morning, and I'm about to go. I don't know how Saturday mornings are for you, but my Saturday mornings are usually me time. I usually just go to a cafe somewhere and do whatever it is that I want to do. So I don't put any pressure on myself. Well, I try not to. Sometimes my workaholic nature overtakes me. But most of the time, the ideal Saturday in my books is go to a cafe, do literally anything I want for the entire morning. So usually it starts with like I want to do some reading, I want to journal my thought, or maybe I want to like scroll on Instagram for a bit, or like watch YouTube videos, or watch comedy, watch another stand-up, or stuff like that. Sometimes I actually also want to do work. Not because, okay, hear me out, because I can't take my mind off work, or like I feel like I have to finish it. It's more so because I feel excited to do a certain project that I'm participating in, or I'm excited over a certain idea that I want to execute. So it's usually those kind of things that causes me to work on a Saturday for fun, like work for fun. Other than that, most of the time it just involves just stuff that I don't often get the chance to do, that I really want to do. Yeah, which involves reading and stuff. The book that I'm currently reading is called The 12-Week Year. The primary philosophy of the book is the 12-week year, which means instead of seeing our entire year as 12 months, right, and 52 weeks, we see it as 12 weeks. So instead of planning for a whole year, which is often the norm in a lot of organizations, sometimes even for individuals, we also pay attention to the short-term to medium-term plan, which is the 12-week plan, where every week acts as a month, and every week you get to reevaluate and reset your life and align it with whatever it is that you're trying to pursue. And basically, every 12 weeks, you can evaluate if you've made progress in the way that you would desire within those 12 weeks, and then you can reassess and reevaluate your decisions in that sense. So here's where I think the idea may not work. May not work if someone doesn't want it to work. You know what I mean? Like, I think sometimes, regardless of what we think is our ideal benchmark, or the ideal way in which we want to live, might not always align with our day-to-day actions. So without action, none of that is going to be possible. But then I guess you could say that about everything. But if you do try to plan your life 12 weeks at a time, I think that it has merit. I think the book argues that 12 weeks is the right number of weeks, the right amount of time, because it's not too short that you can't do things or make significant progress, but it's also not too long where you feel like it's so far away and you can decide to slack off. So it's supposed to add a sense of urgency and pressure to the fact that you gotta do this thing that you set your mind towards. And it also gives you a little bit more time than, say, 1 week or 2 weeks. So it cannot be too short, it can be too long. Apparently it argues that 12 weeks is exactly the right amount. So I'm still exploring the idea of this book. I haven't yet implemented it entirely. One of the things that I've implemented from the book is actually a weekly review that I've been doing for the past 2 weeks, and it's been really helpful. It's been helpful to sort of pre-prioritize what I want to do throughout the week, so that things don't just get busy and I don't ignore the things that are very important. I guess that's been helpful, but I'm yet to sort of assess these things thoroughly and see if it's actually something I want to apply for the long term, and if I want to apply it in its entirety. I've seen a lot of people talk about it on YouTube, but I myself am not completely sold out on the idea yet. But yeah, well, yeah, that's the book I'm going to continue reading later on at the cafe. Also, I thought I want to mention this because I don't know if you guys experienced this before, or I guess I don't know what you guys do when you're in this situation. So for the past like 3 or 4 days, quite randomly, I would wake up super early at night, maybe like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., sometimes even like 3 a.m. Well, I don't know, but maybe for some of you that's not super early, but for me and my habits, my friend, 5 a.m. is basically midnight in my books. But I wake up pretty early and I have this sudden boost in energy and in desire to do something. Like I wanna go do something at 5 a.m., 4 a.m., sometimes at 3 a.m. And I don't know how you would deal with it. There's two parts of me, there's two sides of me. One side of me is like, hey, you need to get more sleep, dude. You didn't sleep early last night. You slept late. You need to get sleep. So go back to sleep, get some rest. And then there's this other part of me that's like, hey, if you try to force yourself to sleep, you're not gonna sleep just based on the anxiety of not being able to sleep. So you just wanna let your body take its natural course, and if you do not feel like sleeping and you wanna do things, go and do things. If you always have things to do in your life, so find a task that you wanna do, or maybe read a book, or do a thing, do a task, do things. It's the other part of me. What I actually end up doing is just being lazy on my bed and scrolling through Instagram and TikTok, which is a terrible habit which I have to get rid of. I don't know when I'll do it, but I know I have to do it, and I know one day I'll be in a position where I finally pulled the trigger on that. So I don't know what you guys would do. Like maybe leave that in the comments, or DM me, let me know what you think I should do if I find myself in that situation again. I've been doing, in reality, I've been doing one of two things. I've either been being lazy on my bed, sleeping, and just like, scrolling through Instagram or Netflix, watching Netflix and watching YouTube, stuff like that. Or the other thing I've been doing is actually wake up and start doing work right away. Like just immerse myself into whatever it is, the interesting projects that I'm working on. I just start doing that. It could be that, it could be editing videos, it could be writing jokes, whatever it is. Basically, that's how most of those mornings where I wake up a bit too early happen. And by the time the clock strikes, say 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., which is around the time where most places open up here, I probably get ready and try to get into the car and drive off either to like a co-working space or a cafe to just start doing more creative work, as I talked about in the very first episode of this podcast. But kind of interesting how that happens. I mean, this is not the first time this happened to me in life. Like, I think it's happened in the past as well. But every time it's been something different. This time it's a whole lot different. I also don't understand I also don't know how much merit the whole 8 hours of sleep, 6 to 8 hours of sleep metric is. Because if I'm being really honest with myself, I don't think I get 6 to 8 hours of sleep every single day. It's between 3-4 hours, sometimes 5 hours. It's either that or friggin' 15 hours. The longest I've ever remained in bed, not sleeping, but I guess remained in bed, was about 24 hours. I know that sounds disgusting, but that's the truth. But that didn't happen recently. But I guess I either sleep less or extremely too much. Like I either sleep way too little or way too much. It's never in between. But I know I'm not the one in my circle that has the most messed up sleeping cycle. I have this other friend. I do a podcast with him called Absolutely Relative. If you guys haven't checked that out, go and check that out. His name is Sam. He works with coffee. He's a coffee roaster. A lot of his job involves being around a lot of coffee, trying and tasting a lot of different types of roasts and different types of beans that he's roasting and sort of preparing to sell. I think his tolerance for coffee is super high, but he also ingests a lot of caffeine whenever he's doing like cupping sessions where you taste the coffee, different types of roasts and different types of coffee to sort of assess the flavor profiles or the work that you've done. I don't know anything about coffee. He's the guy. Maybe one day I think there's an episode on Absolutely Relative podcast, either on Spotify. You can find it on YouTube. I'll probably drop a link below this video or this podcast. I think there's an episode where we talk about this. We talk about him not getting enough sleep. So because he works with a lot of caffeine and a lot of coffee, his sleep schedule is actually a lot more messed up than mine. I don't know, like I've seen him like work for 14 hours straight, like overnight, and like sleep throughout the morning, and sometimes just sleep throughout the day and we'll work at night. Sometimes sleep throughout the night and work at day. I guess that's what normal people do. But I've heard stories from him of how like sometimes he would just run on, I don't know, power naps, like 1 hour of a nap or a 30-minute nap. Like I'd hear that from him. I'm like, okay, wow, you clearly need to get some rest. But also, I don't know, he's a machine. He is on fire. Like he's definitely a really hard worker, and I think like if I were in his shoes, I might not be able to do the same thing. But he definitely puts in a lot of effort into what he does. So yeah, kudos to you, Sam. You guys know him. But yeah, today is Saturday. I'm gonna go chill, gonna go have fun, gonna just be at ease, do what I want to do. After the morning, which is somewhere in the afternoon, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., is when some of my friends who still work on Saturdays get off of work and they have the rest of the day off. So I get to hang out with them after midday. Until midday, it's me time. I spend time with myself, do what I feel I need to do, review my life, take stock of the things around me, or just, do nothing at all. Just scroll. This is the perfect time to just allow myself to just do nothing. Just be and exist in a space. Enjoy a cup of coffee or tea or whatever beverage and just relax, I think it's important to do that every now and then. I think a lot of times I find myself just working all the time. I guess I really do enjoy what I do, which does not make the work too, unfulfilling. Like I'm not selling my soul out here doing work, but sometimes I genuinely like doing work, but I also have to learn to discipline myself and be like, hey, this time that you have here is relaxing time, it's chill time, it's not for working. So don't be too worried about trying to be productive during the time off that you have, because you will have more time in life to do the work that you need to do. You don't have to work all the time. I think that's all I have to say. Thanks for chilling with me and hanging out with me while I'm driving. I hope you're enjoying these episodes, and if you are, leave a like and subscribe or follow wherever you're listening to these from. And you know what? I'm going to keep making more of these. I think I really enjoy the medium. It kind of allows me to just spitball at the camera and just talk about things in my life without really feeling like I have to put on a certain attitude or a persona, because sometimes when you record vlogs, you kind of make them curated and you try to record them as polishedly as possible so that it communicates the message that you're trying to say as clearly as possible. But with these videos, I really don't have any such agenda. I just want to be as open and honest as possible and just speak what's on the top of my mind without the pressure of trying to be polished or very clear in terms of what I'm trying to say. I just say it, and I eventually, if I have said something that I don't mean, I will usually try to take care of that on the edit. And if I do miss things on the edit, I will probably come back later and be like, hey guys, so I didn't mean what I said. What I actually meant was this. But yeah, I really enjoy this medium. So if you guys enjoy it too, let me know. I would love to know. And maybe if you guys have a certain kind of like topic that you want me to talk about, yeah, do let me know. That'd be interesting to sort of hear you guys out and see what you think of this medium. I do know that I have to fix my camera angles, so I will definitely find a way to shoot better a video. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me. Take care of yourself, all right? All right? All right? All right? All right, all right, all right.